diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. We Rick flaring on it. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. Yeah, we Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Rick flaring, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death. I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops and find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. We Rick flaring on it. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. We Rick flaring on it. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase. Yeah. Bubba C. Yeah. Rick flaring on him. Rick flaring on him. Rick flaring on him. Rick flaring, sun up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the SWAC, pull up where you at. No cap if the Brody is speaking the soft facts. My advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the least. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walk it, cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Scotty, and you already know what it is. Happy Friday! Hey, listen, you already know. Yes, your boy kicking it, chilling. All right, doing what I do, but watching my shoes. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm super geeked. It's Friday, right? I'm doing this show, and look what came in the mail from the Houston family. Shout out to James. Shout out to Mama Houston. They sent me a signed rookie jersey of my guy, The Problem, James Houston. You Bamas ain't got one of these. All right? You Bamas ain't got these. You ain't got these. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to them. I'm going to get it framed and I'll put it on my wall and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's to Scotty, James, The Problem, Houston, number 59, 2022, 2023. Okay. All right. So when y'all say I ain't doing it, I'm doing it. When y'all think I ain't doing it, I'm still doing it.
I'm petty. I'm petty. I'm petty. I'm petty. I'm petty. I'm petty. I'm petty.
Let's go. It's a good way to start off a gosh darn Friday. All right. What else is better to start off a Friday is with some controversial news. Okay. We're here for these media. We know what you came here for. You came for the media talk. So we're going to get into all that before. Like the stream. All right. Subscribe to the channel if you've never been here before. You already know what it is. Now, listen. I pride myself on not being a liar. Okay. I pride myself on integrity. But as a reformed hoe, I do like to omit some things. I do like to omit. So I have to be honest, and it could be 4 years, 10 million or 40 million. Like how I did that there? Like how I did that there? Okay, because listen, it just said an 8-figure deal. Right? It just said an 8-figure deal. An 8-figure deal is double digits in the millions. Right? So it could be 10 or it could be 40 or somewhere in between. All right? So I'm just giving you the heads up. Okay? Okay. So I just want to be, so, you know, I do a little omitting from time to time. Okay? But we're going to get into the nitty gritty of the deal. Now, mind you, if you want to read along of what I'm reading, the media link is in the description below. All right. It says media article link is in the description below. But we're going to get into some stuff. All right. We're going to get into some stuff today. Now, the first thing I want to talk about this deal, and I know most of you Bamas have read it. If you haven't read it, go read. Okay. The CAA did a deal with 2 different entities. Okay? Now, I remind you, when the SWAC did its deal, and I got up here and said, why in the blue hell would you do a deal with one entity? I got shamed. I got shamed. How they go? Shame, shame, shame. I don't want to go to Mexico no more. Shame. I got shamed. Scotty, you don't know what you're talking about. Scotty, you da-da-da-da-da. You don't know. Now, it's just funny to me. Yes, both of these are renegotiated deals, but the fact of the matter is that they had the foresight to say, hey, we'll give basketball to CBS and we'll give football and everything else to CAA. That's what that is. Now, I don't like Flow Sports. I think they hella expensive. I think it's like ESPN, like on crack. If they think like ESPN doesn't charge half of what Flow Sports does, and I don't think the production's any better. That's just me, because at the end of the day, the school is actually doing the production. All they're doing is stealing it and putting on Flow Sports. So I absolutely hate it. So I'm not going to tell you that Flow Sports is like light years better than HBCU Go, because HBCU Go is still free. So I'm not going to tell you that, right? So the fact that they're paying you to pay them to watch it, I do have a problem with that. I ain't even going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you. But what I want to show you is the intricacies of the deal, right? Of how you can take bits and pieces from what other people are doing and make your deal better, even though you already effed up your deal. All right? You can make your deal better. Now, the SWAC sold everything they have to HBCU Go. And when I mean everything, I mean everything. Soccer, basketball, badminton, bowling, track, what else? Field hockey, cross country. They sold their soul to HBCU Go. That's what happened. And you ain't got to believe me. You can go read the contract or go read the blurb for yourself. Literally sold everything to one entity. Now, the biggest thing that I like about the deal with Flow, other than the deal with HBCU Go, is this, right? The school still has the right to the school still has the right to go to local, right? Now, this is the caveat because it's a secondary deal, right? So there's secondary deals. You can still take your local rights to your local news station, right? With HBCU Go, if HBCU Go does not pick you up, you can take it to your local rights. But this is the thing. If you're listening to the commissioner, you're not allowed to do that. Listen, I'm keeping it a whole buck today. Right? If you're listening to your commissioner, that's not allowed. Why? Because supposedly ESPN has exclusivity. So that's not true. That's why you have Alabama State selling their off games to Bounce, A&T. That's why Texas Southern did the deal with A&T Sportsnet and all those type of things, right? So the intricacies of these deals is this. The reason why I don't like the HBCU Go deal is this. And the reason I don't like the Flow Sports deal is this. I think that the Flow Sports deal, the membership fees that you have to pay to see Flow Sports, I believe the school should be a part of the ROI of that, right? So it's the same thing I say about the SWAC getting money from ESPN, right? Because really what they're doing is this. If I'm paying you a fee, if I'm paying you to have your stuff, and then I turn around and sell it back to you, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, I could show my games to my fans for free. For free. You're going to pay me whatever you're going to pay me just to turn around and sell it back to my friends? I need some of that money. You need the live, right? That's what everybody's trying to get into. Everybody's trying to get into live sports. So you need my live sports. You do. You don't get my fan base without getting the live sports of my fan base. Got it. Good. So if you're charging me $30 a month, if you're charging me $20 a month, it should be that the schools are getting, the conference should be getting some of that membership money on top of what you pay me to get live sports. That's only fair because you wouldn't be getting an audience to support your platform without my school's live sports. Nobody just running the Flow Sports. What is Flow Sports? What is Flow Sports? You see what I'm saying? So you're making Flow Sports the company. You're making them billionaires. And that's usually how business works. You don't do a deal that's bad for the business. Like that's just how business works. I'm not going to act like that's a mirage, right? But there's so many intricacies a part of this deal that I still think that I'm going to say this. I still think that the SWAC got hosed. I don't care what nobody says, 10 million, 120. I don't give a damn what you're talking about. They got hosed, right? Because one, you're in a 10-year deal. And I'm going to say this. CBS is 10 times larger than HBCU Go. Why wouldn't the CAA sign a 10-year deal with CBS? You would think, right? You would think that's just you would think, oh, that's just smart business. It's CBS Sports Network. You sign because the shit is dumb. It's dumb because based off inflation, it don't even make sense. By the time you come back to the table, your deal is obsolete. If you sign a deal for 10 years, the next time you come back to the table, your deal is so bad, it's ridiculous. So that's why you keep the short. That's why you keep the short contracts so that you do your 4 years, you date it out. If your value goes up, you come back to the table and you renegotiate and you get more. But to lock yourself in for 10 years, the only thing that benefits is the person that locks you in for 10 years. That's just what it is. All right, now let's continue. Now, this is some of the announcement from the CAA, and I'm going to read it for you. The CAA signed a new 4-year extension with CBS Sports, providing the conference with more nationally televised basketball games than ever before. Starting in 2023-2024, CBS Sports Network will televise at least 20 CAA regular season men's basketball games, in addition to semifinals, finals, and CAA's men's basketball championship and the title game of the CAA women's basketball championship. Now, listen, right? That sounds like a lot of games. That ain't shit. That ain't at least 20. At least 20. That means it can go up. But 20 games when you got 13 teams, they got what, 12, 13 teams? And they probably all playing like 20, 30 games. A&T play 20 games. What is that? What is that? Now, they ain't say at least 50, at least 100. They said 20. Now, I would hope that come with some money because this is the only part of the contract. This is the only part of the media deal that didn't have any type of monetary amount behind it, like a 4-year, 10-figure deal, 7-figure deal. None of that was behind any of that. They just pretty much said, hey, this is what it is. We're doing this for the championship. Now, congratulations. You got the CBS on championship and things like that. Congratulations. Whoop-de-whoop, right? But 20 games, like, that ain't a lot of games. I want to be very clear. That's like testing. That's like test driving a car. Okay, you're like, oh, yeah, I get 1,000 miles. Okay, I'm gonna get 1,000. Like that's 20 games in basketball. That ain't a lot of games. I just want to make that very clear to people. Now, 20 games in football, it's not bad. Still not a lot, but it's not bad. You know what I'm saying? So, because if you want to do a percentage, 13 times 25 games. Let me do the math real quick. You know, I like to do a little math. 13 teams times, let's just say they all play 25 games. 25 games. That's 320. Come on, man. That's 325. And they said at least 20 games. What is that? What is that? What is that? You get what I'm okay, y'all get what I'm saying. All right. I'm just saying. It ain't a lot. When you really break it down, that ain't shit. It's CBS. You're stuck on the name, but that really ain't shit. I just want to be very clear about that. So, all right. So, going forward, this is what Flow Sports says. To serve as an exclusive worldwide digital platform for live on-demand sports, the new 8-figure agreement with Flow Sports is the most lucrative media rights deal in league history, which is just the CAA, and will see over 1,200 games air annually, including the majority of conference championships. Now, this is where it gets really funny. It's where it gets really funny. This is pretty much verbatim of what it says in the HBCU Go deal of having 2,000 events, because they included football. They don't really include football. I mean, they don't include basketball, but only 20 games. What kind of shit is that? Right? So this is the same thing that, so I want to be, listen, guys. See, you gotta read through the fluff, and I want y'all to stay with me. Flow Sports is literally the ESP. It's like the broke ESPN, right? They have to charge you more because they need the revenue. They need the cash flow. Now, how is Flow? Listen to me. How is HBCU Go supposed to do 2,000 events when they're the one putting on the production? I'm going to say that again for the people in the back who are super slow. Scotty, what are you talking about? Flow Sports steals the production from the school and re-airs it on Flow Sports. Same thing ESPN Plus is, right? They're doing 1,200 based off the school providing the production. I'm going to slow it down for you even more. How is HBCU Go? Listen to me. How are they going to do 2,000 live events when they're the production team of said event? That math ain't mathing. That math ain't mathing. So you can just flat. Okay. So can we just say that's not possible? Can we say that? I can say that. Can we say that? I think we can have an agreement. That's not possible. If you don't believe me, go read the blurb from Fox News where they talk about HBCU Go partnering with the SWAC giving 2,000 live events. It's not possible. It's not possible. Okay? It's simply not possible. So it's another, but you know, hey, what do I know? I'm just the guy on YouTube yelling and ranting and raving. Okay? I don't know what I'm talking about. So let me say this, right? Let me say this. Because I talked to a guy who's in the media business, and he sent me this. I told him about the deal, and this is what he sent me. He said it's comedy. Texas media rights were sold by the Big 12, Big 8, Big 12 for football. The channel was $300 million, a 10-year deal for student activities. They showed only games which were passed by networks in the Big 8/Big 12 deal, usually one game every other year. The rest was practice and volleyball. Twitter has no clue about the media business. Now, I ask you this, and I say this. Listen, man, I keep trying to explain to you guys, what is your value? I'm going to say that again to you. What is your value? Because that isn't live sports. That was simply coverage of Texas. That's like coaches' interviews, player interviews. When you throw student activities in that bucket, right, it's encompassing of like interviewing volleyball players and interviewing players and interviewing coaches and at practice, recording practice, showing a live practice, showing a live scrimmage. Like, They feel the value of Texas student activities. Guys, I just want to, somebody make this make sense. The value of Texas football activities, not games, the stuff behind the scenes is more valuable than you playing an actual game. Listen. The behind the scenes of volleyball, the behind the scenes of Texas basketball is more valuable than you playing an actual game. Something don't make sense to me. Something about this does not sit well with me, because I can keep it a whole buck. And Blue, you know I love you to death, my boy, but I'm going to use you as an example. And I'm going to just keep it a buck with y'all. Y'all already know what I keep it real. Every time Blue does something on HBCU, it's 1,000 views and up. Every time Blue, and remember, he covers a lot of stuff. He covers everything else. He covers all the FCS. Every time Blue touches HBCU, I don't give a damn if it's D2. He's getting 1,000. He has the views. He has the eyes. He's doing all that. If my man shows if he has a white institution as a thumbnail, it might get 500 views. It might get 500 views, and that ain't no lie. Listen, I told you, Blue, my guy, you want to admit it or not. The brands, the views, the nicheness of HBCU has its own community. It has its own vector. I keep calling it Wakanda, right? You don't know until you step into it, right? You look at it from the outside like white people do. You looking at it from the outside, oh, it's run down. It's this. It doesn't have this. It's that. It doesn't do this. It doesn't do that well. But as soon as you walk through the barrier, you're like, damn, this is different. This has a community. They have a base. There's a foundation here. Right? So what I'm saying to you is this. At the end of the day, you have to see, because you're on the phone. Yeah. You have to see what is going on and the value of what you have. And I'm going to keep saying this. And this is my thing. No school in the SWAC is Texas football. But the SWAC, see, this is what branding is this. This is what branding is. Individually, Jackson State is not Texas football. Individually, Southern is not Texas football. Individually, FAMU is not Texas football. But if I put all them Bamas together, I can get me a $300 million deal. When those powers combine, I am Captain Planet. Like, what are we talking? See, and that's the thing. If you never see your value as such, you're always going to get minimal. If you don't see yourself as that, you're always going to be. Listen, there has to be a reason why ESPN, even though it's Deion, I get it, it's Deion Sanders. I'm not going to take nothing away from Deion Jackson. Y'all ain't that important, but it's Deion, right? But even before that, how does HBCU schools lead in attendance? Right? How do HBCU schools lead attendance? How are they in the top 10 in attendance if they don't got no brands? How? How can Hampton, how can Morehouse or, Howard and Morehouse go up to the stadium, in the Giant Stadium, and put 40,000 people in there if they ain't got no brand? This is ridiculous to me. Listen, man. Listen, guys. Listen. It's a lot to me. It's just a lot to me. I keep beating this. I be beating this stuff down. I be trying to beat this stuff down your throats and beat this stuff down your head, because listen, there are certain things, and I'm gonna say this. There are certain things that happen that you need multiple entities to make something bigger than what it is, or bigger than what you could have ever valued it as. And I'm gonna say this, right? You take someone who understands the culture. You take someone who understands the business, and then you merge them together. You cannot take somebody who only knows the culture and doesn't know the business of media and expect them to come up with a $300 million deal. You can't take someone who the most that they've ever raised at their institution before they were the conference commissioner was a freaking $1 million. I'm going to say this, and you can clip it. You can take it to the bank. You only can go as high as the leader who is leading you. I'm going to say that again. You can only go as high as the leader who is leading you. If I'm being mentored by Mr. Campbell can only mentor me to a level that he has been to. He can't take me past a level that he hasn't been to. Right? So if Mr. Campbell or Mr. D, if they're $10 million earners, they can take me to $10 million. They can teach me how to build a millionaire business. Right? But if I want to make 30 million, 50 million, or 100 million, I need somebody else. That's when you bring in somebody else to it. Come on, man. Y'all not hearing me. Y'all not hearing me. See, but that's the thing. You're making my point, and I'm going to show you why. Right? If you look real small, right? If you really read the article, you will see who negotiated the deal. Right or wrong or indifferent, it wasn't the commissioner doing it by himself. Right, wrong, or indifferent, it was not the commissioner doing it himself. The partnership expansion deals with CBS and Flow Sports was each negotiated by Collegiate Sports Management Group. Right? So what I'm saying to you, Jamie, is this, right? There's only so much that a commissioner can take you to, right? That's why you have to partner outside of yourself to get to a result that you have never seen. To get to an example you have never seen. So at the end of the day, I'm going to say this, man. I keep trying to explain to y'all how much money there just is. How much money that there just is out there to be made. And the thing that kills me, man, I'm so sorry. Like, what really bothers me is that I have more time fighting with HBCU alums telling them they're worth more than what they think they're worth. Like, that's the thing that kills me, right? That's the thing that bothers me so much, is that I argue more with HBCU alums, graduates. Scotty, we'll never get that. We're not worth that. We're not worth this. We're not. Listen, I keep trying to explain to y'all. You see businesses in the hood. They're not there for charity. They're there to make money off of whatever you got going. If it's guns, if it's liquor, if it's food, if it's hair, whatever your vice is, I'm here to make money off that. So you can't tell me. You can't tell me why State Farm is not in your, why State Farm is in your demographic, why Allstate is in your demographic, why Home Depot is in your demographic. You can't make it make sense to me because they see money where you don't. And if I get you for a $10 hoe and I can make $100 off of you, I'm going to do that. It's very simple. It's business. If I can get you for the lowest common denominator and you're willing to accept it, I've won. I've won. Right? We can talk bigger numbers. It all goes the same. If Nike is willing to pay LeBron $1 billion for a lifetime deal, how much you think they're making off LeBron? It goes with anything. But at some point, you have to be okay with the price. You have to be okay with the price. At some point, it's going to happen to everybody. Business is made off other people's backs. I can never pay you. I can't make 100,000 and pay you 100,000. That don't make no sense. So understand at some point, I got to make money off of you. But what's the price to you? Home Depot does an HBCU retool your campus type bullshit. They probably make millions off you, Bamas, and they pay you $20,000 to retool your school. What is the Home Depot probably spends close to $30 million for college game day. They probably spend more than they probably pay like $100 million. They probably spend $100 million for college game day, the traveling, the banners, all that type of stuff. Still ain't enough. It still ain't enough. It still ain't enough. It still is not enough. At some point, you come on, 150K? 150K. When you're trying to they're getting data. They're getting data from over 100 HBCU schools. They're getting marketing from over 100 HBCUs. Let's just say each of them graduate 3,000 for the past 20 years. The data alone is going to run you $1 million. They can retool it. They can turn around and sell your data for $1 million easy. 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 And they're paying you $150K to scratch, claw, and fight other institutions to push their brand. Come on, man. Something you look forward to every year. Oh my God. Hashtag retool. Hashtag retool. Hashtag retool. Come on, man. Come on, man. Like, guys, at some point in time, they don't even do they even do a first, second, and third place? Do they even do a first, second, or third place? First place $1 million, second place $500,000, third place $150K. Do they even do that? Hey, every school that participated will give you $20K. Do they even do that? No, they do not. But they'll pay college game day $100 million for the whole setup, Home Depot screens, all that shit. Guys, listen. I really wasn't trying to go on a tangent. I really wasn't. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you. At some point, listen, nobody does business to go broke. We can flat out say that. I got plenty. So, okay, even better. They do a first, second, and third place with 150K. They do a first, second, and third place with the top guy getting 150. Okay, if that ain't pimping, I don't know what is. Anyway, nobody goes into business to lose money. We understand what it is, right? There has to be some form of give and take. And what happens in this scenario that I'm seeing constantly over and over time, right, is that you're living in a scarcity, right? You're living in a scarcity. So what happens is that you just take the first thing that comes, and we've all been there. We've all been there. Listen, let's not play this game like we all have not been there. You getting out of college, you find a job that pays you $30,000, you just, oh God, thank you, Jesus. Woo! Right? But from that point forward, you're telling yourself, I am never going to be at this point again. I'm going to get better as I get better. I'm going to get more money as I get more money. As I grow, so will my income. And at some point in time, if I'm being honest, and y'all can get mad at me, you can say, Scotty, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. Okay, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But if we're being a buck, Dion really said, that's what they've been paying you? That's what they've been giving you? That's what you allow them to go for? Nah, we're not doing that. And what did everybody else do? Damn, he got a point. Let me look. That ain't good enough for me either. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that. It's just now you have to set a standard. You listen, classics, every classic should be redone other than FAMU. FAMU, they do pretty well. A lot of these classics should be renegotiated. The State Fair Classic, that shit should be on television. That shit should be on television, and the school should be getting TV money and the money from the promoter. HBCU should not even, they shouldn't even answer the phone if it's not $500,000. They shouldn't even answer the phone if you're not talking over $500,000. And that's just to get me on the phone. We're not even agreeing to it. That's to get me on the phone. Because if we really talking numbers with my band, with my team, we need to be at least $800K to $1 million to get me there and comfortable, right? The Bayou Classic, don't even get me started on that bullshit. It's ran by all white people. It's literally ran by all white people on an all-black event. Not partnered. Listen to me, Linda. Linda, listen. Not partnership. Ran by white people. Okay. But we don't talk about that. Listen, man. I'm going to just keep it a buck with you. At the end of the day, HBCUs have to stand on a value. I look at it like this, man. At some point in time, and you guys might not agree, or you might disagree or whatever. At some point in time, you're going to have to stand on your own 2 feet and say, you know what? We're going to do it ourselves. We're going to do it ourselves, and we're going to show you that we can make money on ourselves, because when you can't show somebody what your value is, you have no leverage. You have no leverage. Do you think Texas has to prove? Do you think these conferences, these PWIs, these Power Fives got to show their value to ESPN. No, they know it. That's why they don't be there. It ain't no real negotiations like, hey, we want this. They got this, we want this. Right? So at some point in time, you got to stand on your own 2 feet. You're going to have to break away from ESPN. And you're going to have to come together as a people and say, look, we're going to do it our way. And then once we go back to the table, we're going to negotiate our value. Because if ESPN can take your eyes, if ESPN can grab those same fan bases, your campuses can do the same thing. All they're doing on ESPN Plus is literally showing you what the school is producing. Listen to me when I'm telling you, I'm like it's bleeding out of me. All ESPN Plus is doing is taking the bullshit that you showing from your school and putting it on ESPN Plus, putting it behind a paywall and say, pay us $6 to see your own school. That's all ESPN is doing. And you're telling me you cannot do the same thing for yourself? You're telling me you cannot do that for yourself. Let me ask you this. Can I ask a question? I'm gonna get to Quince, I'm gonna get to you. Let me ask you this. How poorly do you see yourself? How poorly do you see yourself that you give your content to ESPN for $6, but yet you sell it on your own platform for $20? It's the same stream. It ain't no different. How bad do you see yourself that you're willing to give your content to ESPN and let them sell it for $6, but you turn around and sell it on your own platform for $20 and you expect somebody to pay for that? Okay. Hey, Q, coming to you. What's up, Q?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What's up, Q? You live.
Hey, what's good, guys? Hey, this is Quince Way. I apologize if it's a bad connection, but hey, one of the things I did want to do is I'm a man of facts and a man of numbers. So the biggest thing is that I wanted to do a comparison. Like when I seen your show, I was like, you know what does CAA offer that is more valuable to than the SWAC? And I was looking at the comparison of numbers of attendance, and because usually that's a good engagement of fan bases towards football games. And let's see that I know Scotty, you like to play games, so let's see what is the top 25 in SWAC attendance numbers at their stadiums? I'll start off with number 1, Jackson.
Then what?
Jackson State.
Southern or FAM?
Then after we got Bama State at number 6 in attendance. Then after that, close FAM is at number 13. Texas Southern is at 19. Then after that, you got Grambling coming in at 25 of FCS attendance. In comparison to the CAA, let's see what you have. Delaware at number 8. And then the current, you want to guess how many in the current top 25?
That's it?
None.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. So top 25 in attendance currently right now, not even top 50. The next comes in at Townsend at 70. And then after you have Storybrooke at 77. And with the addition of Campbell coming in, they're at 89. In NC A&T, which comes in, I think either next year or the year after, I think they'll have 14, which they'll boost up their fan base, but if they can get this in 4 years, and SWAC has it in 10, that's bad negotiation. And I was looking at also the comparisons of the states. Like, okay, yes, you got the CAAs in 9 states on the East Coast, but they're more of a they're lesser populated states. But you got the SWAC within 6 states or more of the southern and the most populated states in the South. But then also it's kind of reminding me what Kathy Hughes said when Hot 97 was the #1 radio station in New York City. Well, and for those who don't know, Kathy Hughes is the proprietor of TV One, Radio One, and even though Hot 97 was was an African American owned radio station and only had the largest following and the largest city, which made them the largest radio station in the nation, they were only getting they wasn't even breaking in top 10 in revenue. And so that doesn't make sense. So fortunately, I think what the SWAC did the same thing. Is we need to ask for they have more eyes, more viewers than what the CAA offered, but unfortunately it's too late. The deal, the writing's already on paper. So
hey, appreciate the call, Gil. No problem, man. Appreciate the call. 0187 coming to you. Hey, calling you live.
What's that, Scott? How you doing, man? This Terry from Baton Rouge, Doc.
What's up, man? Talk to me.
Doing good. Look, man, I'm always go back to this, man. I was glad to see you at the Bayou Classic, bro. But I'm glad you brought this up. I put in the thing that it's called the State Farm Bayou Classic. If you look at it, they run everything. So Doug, years ago, I got to give Doug Williams his props. He tried to get them back to the table to renegotiate everything. They got a taste of how the money worked when they left after Hurricane Katrina and played the Bayou Classic in Houston. The red carpet was laid out in Houston, and the money was different. So when they got a taste of it, New Orleans refused to let it go.
Hold up, hold on. Uh-huh. The Bayou Classic was played in Houston a year?
Yeah, look it up. It was after Hurricane Katrina.
Somebody told me that they would never move it, but that's to each his own. But go ahead.
When Hurricane Katrina had happened and it tore the Superdome up.
So it can be moved. So it can be moved.
Yes, sir. Okay. See, and Doug said this. I'm quoting his words. Doug said, yes, look, Doug said the Bayou Classic is southern than Grambling, not New Orleans. I'm going to say that for the people in the back. Bayou Classic is southern than Grambling. They need more money from that. The institutions, look up the information, Scott. I don't want to put it all, I want to do a disclosure on here because I want to get into the specifics. Look up what each school gets from the Bayou Classic. And you would not believe the figures. That's all I'm going to say. But it was played in Houston, and Houston laid out the red carpet, and they did not want to give it back to New Orleans, but they fought to get it back. Now, one other thing, and I'm going to say, and I'm going to let you finish. New Orleans prices triple for the Bayou Classic. Ask anybody that get hotels in the Bayou Classic. It don't do that for the Sugar Bowl, but they do it for the Bayou Classic. They don't do it for any other event like Mardi Gras, but they do it for the Bayou Classic. Why you think they charge us more than any other entertainment? We bring the fans.
So hold on. So you let me get this. So you're saying they charge more for the Bayou Classic than they do the Sugar Bowl?
Look it up.
Nah, I can't believe that one.
Look it up. Look, that's why I gave it to you. I wanted you to look it up. Because this conversation has been had multiple times. I'm not saying nothing that don't happen. I just wanted you to be aware of it so you can look it up.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look up these Sugar Bowl tickets.
Okay.
I'm gonna look up.
But I like the conversation. I'm glad you brought this up because HBCUs do not get they due when it comes to finances. We need renegotiations at the table. It starts with somebody somewhere. I'm glad you putting a spotlight on it. This needs to be done. Look, I'm looking forward to listening to the rest of the show. Bless you, my brother.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not believing that. No, you talk about the Sugar Bowl tickets is cheaper than the Bayou Classic, boy. I ain't that crazy. Smash coming to you. What's up, Smash?
Yeah.
What's up? You're breaking up.
Hello.
Yeah, you're breaking up though. What's going on? Yeah, what's going? Where you at, man? Why you in New Orleans? You in the swamplands? Where you at?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Man, the dumbass caller pissed me off. Fucking Sugar Bowl. Did he say Mardi Gras? Because you need to pull up these fucking tickets for this weekend in the city. If you see if he's fucking correct, dumbass. I hate when people get something that was okay and he's trying to run with it, dumbass.
Oh, he said the chat is correcting me. He said not tickets, hotel prices. He said they
even hotel prices. Fuck the ticket. Talk about hotel prices in general. But let a festival like fucking Essence Fest or something come in. No matter what it is, not just Bayou Classic. You know what I'm saying? Yes. The fucking Bayou Classic moved to Houston for Katrina because we ain't had no fucking city to host it in. So you have to act the fucking guy. Come on, bro. Like one out of a million things fucking happened. That's why
it should have been played. It shouldn't have been played. Huh? I just it shouldn't have been played. You said it couldn't be moved. That's what y'all said. Y'all, that's what y'all told me.
I ain't never said I ain't never said it couldn't have been played. I moved. I said the date, the date of it is the most important thing. The thing given a situation, but it shit ain't going to work. Besides doing a book. I'm about you gotta think about just why you the black
Smash, bro. You got it. Smash, bro. Listen, bro. I don't know where you at in New Orleans, but you need to get a new phone, a better signal, better company, something Verizon, something, because you over there with that New Orleans, you over that Mardi Gras in there. You got that Mardi Gras phone. You got that Princess and the Frog phone. What the crap is going on? You got the what the Voodoo Man? You got that Voodoo Man phone. Oh, you ready? Boy, you need to change your boy. That was not good. Come on, Smash. You gotta be better than that, my boy. You gotta be better. Boost Mobile ain't boost. Chirp, can you hear me now? Listen, man. Listen. At the end of the day, man. As Mr. Campbell would say, got that Obama phone. But at the end of the day, this is my thing. There just has to be better business done all the way around, right? It just has to be better business done all the way around. There should be promos. Listen, man. For the Bayou Classic, the hotels, and I know usually there's a partner hotel with said school, but the whole city of New Orleans is benefiting. There should be a promo code that if you use Southern 10 or Grambling 10, that some of the proceeds go back to the school. Is that so difficult? The Magic City Classic. Is that so difficult? The Florida Classic. Is that so difficult? It can be 10%. It can be 5%. It can be 3%. It can be partnering with hotels to say, hey, a piece of that, when they use the promo code this, come on. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It needs something for the city. The city should be giving something back to the institution or the institutions that are providing the influx. Because there would be no influx without the Bayou Classic. The Bayou Classic consists of what? 2 schools. If you take the 2 schools away, there is no Bayou Classic. There is no Bayou Classic. And I'm going to keep saying it. That's why I tell you, that's what gets your mind so locked into being broke. You're so stuck in a freaking tradition. Oh my God, we always do it here. We always do this. I've been doing this, and you ain't been getting paid for it. You have not got your value for it. So why do you continue to bless a city that does not bless you back? It doesn't make any sense to me. If a city is going to get a $50 million impact, how do they not give the schools, what, $5 million apiece? $10 million apiece? I don't know. Sounds pretty fair to me. But listen, won't happen. Okay, stay broke. I don't care. Stay broke. I don't care. It is what it is. You know, Southern would say they're not broke. And pretty fair. I mean, I don't think you Bama's are broke. I'm not saying y'all like broke. I'm just saying get the money, get more money. Okay? Get more money. So I just saying. Just saying. I'm just but I'm the bad guy. I'm telling you to change your thinking, and I'm the bad guy. You'll fight with me to change your thinking, but I'm the bad guy. Bayou Classic ain't done. The city of New Orleans has done nothing to invest back into the schools. The city of New Orleans has not presented a check for $5 million to each of the institutions, but I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. All right. So at the end of the day, I'm going to say this. I'm going to wrap this up. Right? I'm going to wrap this up. At the end of the day, at some point in time, do I like the CAA deal? I like it because of the length. I like it because of the length. I got you, Mr. Bugs. I'm giving to you next. I like it because of the length. I like that it's a short deal. You can come back. You can renegotiate. That's really my biggest knock on that whole SWAC deal is that it's not long. It's just too long for me. It's absolutely too long. Mr. Bugs, talk to me. Mr. Bugs, you live.
Scott, how you doing, all right, brother?
What's up, man? Talk to me.
Can you hear me?
A little bit. Maybe it might be my side.
Gotcha. Okay, good.
You're good. Yeah.
Well, here's my question.
Hey, turn your background down for me.
It seems to be when it comes to this money. Gotcha. It seems to be when it comes to this money piece, Scott, kind of see a lot of the times is there seems to be some other negotiating going on. If currency always follows value, and if one of the parties in the negotiation does not understand that value, they will get easily taken advantage of. And what I'm saying is this here is how you made the comparison with ESPN when it came to $6 on ESPN Plus, and they're playing your school stuff. Here's my thing: why can't the SWAC come up with their own streaming service that their fans can plug into, build up that intellectual capital, and then come back to the table and begin to negotiate with Fox News, or not Fox News, with Fox Sports or ESPN or any other platform? At the exact same time, you begin to monetize every single aspect of your institution, of classics, of everything, so that you maximize your dollars. For me, when I'm buying a real estate transaction, my whole philosophy is this here: I want to squeeze that limit for as much as I can, get as much juice as I can out of that asset. An asset actually pays me. If I don't maximize capital or the in the asset, I'm going to sell myself short all the time. It seems to be when there's a negotiation going on, whether it be classics or anything in the athletic realm, the HBCU seem to be getting the short end of the stick. And I got to point to the lack of intellect when it comes to negotiating. They get it out and negotiate it. It's simple. You agree or disagree?
It's real simple to me. I mean, I've been saying the SWAC should have its own network. I've been saying that, so that ain't nothing new to me. Now it might be new to the people checking into the channel, like, oh my God, new. I'm
trying to figure out when they gonna hire CAA.
Listen, it's very. This is how I look at it. To me, right? It's like
when they gonna hire CAA to actually be. Go ahead.
They don't. They hate me too much. But this is my thing. It doesn't even have to be on next 2 months. You can make it a plan to just say, hey, our capital campaign is in 3 years, we want to build a SWAC network. Our capital campaign is 4 years, we want to build a SWAC network.
Agreed. Or
in 4 or 5 years, we want to have an HBCU network or a SWAC and MEAC network. Like that's what the strategic leadership, that's what that looks like. If you want to make it something, then you can either partner together and do it, or you can make it an HBCU network. If you want to bring in the D2 schools, so you can all share the cost of building this thing. You get what I'm saying? So it won't be just strictly on the SWAC. It won't be strictly on the MEAC. It is, hey, we're an HBCU. We've always done our own thing. Let's continue to do our own thing and make an HBCU sports network. And we'll build it together, and then we'll bring in consultants and then do it like that. But
there you go.
But that's strategic leadership. They're doing commissioner conferences. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. They need to be talking about building a network together so you can support your own self in your own community and stop selling yourself short towards ESPN, because ESPN is making a killing off of you. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me.
They are. And I would just say this, Scotty, and I'll be done, man. Thank you so much for allowing me on your platform. We have to get more wiser in negotiating these deals. We got to get more wiser. I like what you said. Bring someone that actually has the intellect to begin to negotiate at that level, so that we can get the most for our intellectual capital, the most for our asset. Let's go ahead and get better at negotiating. That's all I need to say, Scott.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate it, Mr. Bucks. Hey, Travis, coming to you next. Hey, real quick, I got to thank God for that idea, because it really just hit me off the spur of the moment. Because think about it like this, guys. I want you, for once, really, I know you guys listen to me. I know you guys laugh and joke, but I really want you guys to wipe your mind blank, right? I just want you to just open your ears and really just listen to me. If the only place, listen to me, if the only place you could find HBCU football games is on the HBCU network, would you not think that you would have eyes? I'm going to say it again. If the only place you could find HBCU games is on the HBCU network, produced by their own school that you're already doing to ESPN, do you not think you would have your own eyes and have your own brands? And I'm going to give you an example as this. Where can you buy Southwest tickets? If you have to go to southwest.com to buy Southwest tickets. If you never flown Southwest, you have to go to southwest.com to get a Southwest ticket. You can't go to Google Flights and do all that. You can't do that. Got to go to southwest.com. Got to sign in. Got to get that. So if you're looking for a Southwest ticket, you go to southwest.com. If you're looking for an HBCU game, it's not about having you. if there was not enough eyes, ESPN Plus wouldn't take. Shut up. If it's not about the number of eyes. It's about how you monetize the eyes that are watching. That's the thing. You're not smarter than you think. It's not the eyes. It's monetizing the eyes. If you only have 50,000 people and you charge them $10, it does not matter that it's only 50,000 people. If there was no eyes, why would ESPN care to have your content? You're not smart. You're not smarter than you think you are. If you limit the outside and you can only funnel in, come on, man. Like it can't be this. Y'all can't be this dumb. You can't be this dumb. Listen, I got 13,000 subscribers. I don't need 50,000 subscribers to make $1 million. I don't need that. I can just monetize my 12,000, charge them 1,000 a pop or 500 and get the number and get the money that I need. What are we doing? And then you get advertisers to pay to put ads on your HBCU network, which their demographic is getting black people. Why? Because we freaking over-index for everything. You're not smarter than you think you are. You're the reason that black people stay in a small-ass hole thinking they can't make money off of themselves. Black people over-index for everything. Come on, man. Travis, coming to you. Go ahead.
Yo, so I will say this, bro. This conversation is a God conversation. Remember what I told you? I said, Scotty, these conferences is a reflection of the campus leadership. Because remember, each conference, let's take the SWAC. Who's on the board of trustees for the SWAC president? All the college presidents, right?
Yeah.
So how many of these college presidents understand the science of business? How many of these college presidents understand strategic leadership and strategic planning that's going on? If it were like, and I hate to say this, remember what Deion Sanders said in his interview? All of them got the same problems? All of them? That's a reflection of all of our campuses have no strategic vision, no strategic business planning. Where's the strategic business plan for these conferences? The only conference that we really can say that make money is what conference? The CIAA. Because everyone, when it was in Charlotte, that's where everyone had to be. It was the hottest ticket in town then. So, and the sad thing about it, all our HBCUs have some type of infrastructure where we can get together and say, hey, let's build a SOC, let's build a database of all our athletics, and let's put them out there, and let's do $25 a month for streaming services, and people could push and play, and they could watch all the content. We could stream it live. I go back to your interview that you had with Roland Martin, like 9 months ago. That was a fire interview. That's actually what I called you about earlier. I didn't realize you was live, so I apologize for calling you. But I'm telling you, I worked at 4 HBCUs. A lot of these campuses don't have, I'm not saying all the ones I worked at, I'm saying a lot of our campuses don't have that strategic leadership. That's why certain HBCUs are in the top 10. Some of the HBCUs are doing better than others. But if we really got together with our intellectual capital, and I honestly think that we can do it. I know we can do it. There's enough black technologists out here, including myself, that can help build a platform for it. But there's infrastructure.
I agree, Travis, man. It just blows my mind that people can't see it. But appreciate the call, bro. Hey guys, like, I'm gonna try to get to you guys, but let me say something real quick. Because you guys are really killing me. I want to show you something, right? I want to show you guys something, and because you guys, y'all Bamas, y'all think it, y'all really are pissing me off. Let me say this. There are 60,000 people that can show up at a Jackson State game, right? I won't even go to the extent. I'm gonna go low. If you get 25,000 people, right? 25,000 people, and charge them $9.99. That is $250,000 a month, right? Times 12. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's $2 million a year. That's just on the low end of signing people up. That's not advertisers. That's not promotions. It's just you can get 50,000 people in the SWAC. Tuskegee had 30,000 people at homecoming. Guys, you don't know because you've never tried it. Right? And the one thing about it is this, is once you've made that type of money, what you do is when you partner with a business, so when you decide to go back to ESPN, when you decide to go back to CBS Sports, you can tell them, listen, we've been making this with our own production teams for whatever. So let's say we're making $1 million a month. We're making $1 million a month. That's extra money that we're able to distribute for the teams or whatever, for our schools or whatever. So now when I come to you, I get to negotiate however I want. I want this. I want that. We want this. We want that, because you have the leverage to do so. You have the leverage to do so. And then you can do it individually by conference. You can say, hey, you don't watch it's the HBCU network, right? But if you want to pay, you can pay $5 for the SIAC. You can pay $5 for the CIAA. You can pay $5 for the SWAC, and you can pay $5. So for $20 a month, 5, 10, 50, 20. So for $20 a month, you can get all 4 conferences, or you can pay, you know how businesses do it, you can pay $9.99 for the SWAC, or you can pay $20 for everything. It's up to you. It's up to you. You can pay $9 per conference, or you can pay $20 for everything. It's your choice. Mr. Sergeant, coming to you. What's up, Mr. Sergeant?
All right. How are you, sir? I had to make you laugh a little bit, just to break up all of the obvious anger and frustration that you have with your black people. Wakanda forever! All right. So here's the question I have for you. I just turned on, dude, I'm sorry. So, I like to start off and look at what you say at the beginning. If we insert Hampton and A&T into the CAA with the current deal and the current structure, how much money are they going to make per year? If you have those numbers, that would be great. And then what is the distribution, I guess, for everybody in the conference? I just had a question. This is a little bill. I'm out.
I appreciate it. I don't know what the distribution is for the CAA and things like that, so I can't really answer that question for you because the deal just started. Okay. You're talking about the same expenses that they're already paying for ESPN? And the thing about it is, with the model, you have to tell your conference, like, this is a long-term play, right? So This is just listen, strategic leadership is getting people involved that understand how to build a brand or build a platform, right? So when you get when you sit down the commissioners together, you tell them this is a 5 to 10 year play. This is not a 1 year fix. So understand the expenses that you've been having trying to run your games because you're already barely getting paid. You're getting paid $700. Okay, let's be very clear. You're getting paid $700,000 from ESPN for the year to split between 12 teams. Is there any difference? There's still expenses that you have to give. There's still expenses to all that, right? So what I'm saying is that you have to come out with a strategic plan. Okay, that's great. Listen, you don't have to worry about the camera angles and all that. You already know the camera angles. You've been sending that shit to ESPN. You've been sending it to ESPN, so you already know the camera angles. The point I'm trying to make is simply this. You get a consultant to come in because you're going to have to partner with somebody. You're going to have to partner with a hosting site. You're going to have to partner with a live stream company. You're going to have to partner with somebody to make it make sense. But at the end of the day, the numbers have to make sense. It has to make sense. So when you bring it all together, you say, what do we have to charge to be in the black? What do we have to charge to be in the black? What do we have to charge to cover the expenses? That's just simple. That's just simple. Am I missing something? Is that not simple business? Is that if I have enough people at the table, I have a guy who's willing to do the engineer, all this type of stuff. We got all that, right? Even if it's no different than HBCU Go. Even if the HBCU network does this, let's just call it a spade a spade. Maybe we can't live stream every single game, right? We can't do that, but we can record the games and we can upload them later. We can have 2 games being live streamed. We can call those the HBCU games of the week. Have 1 game for MEAC. We can have 1 game for each conference be the game of the week. We can record all the other games and upload them to the site, and you can watch them at your leisure. But at some point in time, you got to make it make sense. You have to have all the questions in place and have to have the answers to go behind it to say, hey, how do we make this? How do we give the value to our viewers? Where do we show the value to our viewers? Maybe it's the value is having the interviews with coaches, having the conference call on the HBCU network, having some of the practices, interviewing the players, all that. You got to show value to what you're doing. So if it's not just the live games, maybe you're not getting the live games, but maybe you're getting all the band performances. Maybe you're getting all the band performances on the HBCU network. So that's value there. With all the band performances, maybe you can now have a judge of who's the band of the year. You have to bring value when you lose out on something. That's business. Okay, I can't give you all live games, but what I can give you is I can give you all the band performances throughout the year. I can give you all the battle of the bands. I can give you all the 5th quarters you want. Come on, man. I can give you all the dancing girls you want. Stop it. JB coming to you. Hey, y'all got to keep it short. I got to go. I got to do something. Hey, calling you live.
All right, Scotty, I'll be brief. And I'm sorry for missing a lot of your show, but it seems like I came in on the right time. I just want to make a few points right quick. And of course, if you already covered this, please forgive me in advance. One, we talk about media companies. I think we as HBCU fans need to understand that media companies are not in the business of quote unquote saving our schools. You know, we need to ensure that we come to them table ready. Take, for example, if we're asking for these $1 million, and of course, Scott, that's a great idea, but we cannot say, okay, universities, not universities, media, ESPN, or whatever, give us this $1 million, and then we'll fix ourselves up. It doesn't work that way. But then the other thing is, and this is something that I learned about the CAA deal as well, this is just, I think, for their football, if I'm not mistaken. I think that their basketball has something different with CBS, I believe. And the other part about this too was the fact that each individual school could also negotiate, if I'm not mistaken, with their own local markets. I think Delaware, for example, they had agreements with NBC Sports Philly, NBC Washington, Sportsnet TV, and one more, so I forgot what it was. They gave them access to about 20 million viewers. And of course, they made, I think like Delaware this past season, made $1.5 million on media postseason money. That's a lot of money for an HBCU, but I think that's like 3% of their actual budget. You know, so it's like, I saw the graphic for your show, 4 years versus 10 years. I think the difference is the 4 years, they're still allowed to do their own local deals. I'm not sure if the SWAC media deal allows for the schools to cut their own local deals like that.
They can, it just has to be the games that HBCU go and ESPN don't pick up.
Right.
Yeah.
But are we doing that part? See, that's the question. Are we doing that part too?
It all depends on if the schools are doing, if the schools feel like they're doing it. A lot of them putting it on their YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them just put, like A&M puts it on their YouTube channel. Alabama State used to put it, I think they still put theirs on their YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like stuff. Valley puts it on the YouTube channel. FAMU puts it on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's those type of things that when you can, if you bring it underneath one umbrella and you can monetize it, then everybody kind of wins. You get what I'm saying? So it's just little stuff like that.
Exactly. Exactly. And then notice the smart thing of it is 4 years versus 10 years, because they know 4 years media is going to change an awful lot. Versus 10 years, you're locked in to the same rate. It does make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But I know you got other calls, so I'm going to get off the phone.
Hey, appreciate it. Hey, let me say this. And I know a lot of people are like, what about the YouTubers? What about the banned YouTubers? The banned YouTubers can't be everywhere. Okay. So yeah, you're going to have Smash be at one place. You might have Showtime Web at another place. You might have MF Cool, JF Cool, MF Cool. They can't be everywhere. So you're not really taking from their bag because they can't be everywhere. They can't be at the Norfolk game. They can't be at the Tennessee State game. They can't be at the Southern. They can't be everywhere. They're going to be where they're at. They're going to get the content that they get. They're going to get the walk-in. They're going to get all that, whatever. But they can't not be everywhere. They cannot cover everybody. So they still going to get their money, and everybody else gets to see what they want to see. Okay? So, I mean, I'm not saying it's, we got to lose out. We got to stop the ban people from. No, everybody wins. Everybody wins. So you get to see, if you want to see Smash do his stuff with Alabama State, you get to see that. You want to see Showtime do his stuff at another place, you can see that. If you want to just watch it, what you pay for, you can do that. All right, last two callers.
The conference has been locked.
0187 and then 8582. Hey, caller, you live.
Hey, Scott, this Terry, man. I was calling back, man. I wanted to see if you got my text. I sent an article that they have been talking about there.
I got it.
Talked about. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm giving the information because I'm gonna quote two people real quick that I love to quote. Mr. Campbell, he always say, "We'll do what? Have the facts, right?" Roland say, "Bring receipts." Scott, this guy name is Scott Dyer. It is diverse.com from an article here in Baton Rouge. So he is not the only one that brought the light to it, but he is one of the ones that put the biggest light on it. And the conversation was held years before he posted that. But at the same time, he's also was just, putting in that article what everybody was already feeling and thinking. So I wanted to call back. So I didn't want Smash to think I was just saying something to say something. But I wanted to get a receipt. And like Mr. Campbell said, you better have the facts when you come on here. So that's what I wanted to do. Man, you have a good one, Scott.
Hey, no problem. I'll put it in the chat for everybody so they can read it. It's actually a really good article, guys. I really think you guys should check it out. It's really, really good. If you want to read what Houston was offering in opposed to New Orleans. Last caller, 8582, coming to you.
Good afternoon, my brother.
What's up, man? Talk to me, Bobby.
I'm making it, man. Woosah, man. Woosah. Because you screaming at folks that obviously don't know that each school in the SWAC does all the heavy lifting for ESPN. Like ESPN does nothing but broadcast. They do all the heavy lifting. So to leave ESPN and do our own thing wouldn't be a difficult task. It would actually be rather easy because we already do the heavy lifting. If the SWAC did something like have an app that every school gets all their freshmen to download and then offer it to the alumni at like maybe $4 to download the app, right? You get exclusive content and on-demand videos and all that good stuff. Have portals for each school, and then you could sell ads to people. It'll make way more money than we make with ESPN.
Come on.
Easy.
Come on. Talk
it's
to them.
Easy. It's easy. It's not even a hard concept. The numbers are just too easy. But, you know, folks got to get out their own way and know that Disney and ESPN are looking out for Disney and ESPN and not us.
It's simple.
That. Hey, brother, you have a great day.
Hey, appreciate you. Hey, listen, man. I'm going to say this and I'm going to get up out of here. If you watch ESPN Plus, and I know a lot of you Bammers do, right? Y'all watch ESPN Plus. When you're watching ESPN Plus, do you see any ads? Most times you don't. It just says the game will return shortly. That little blue ESPN screen that be like fading in and out. They don't even got it. They are making so much money off ESPN Plus that they don't even need to put ads. I want you to think about that. They're making so much money. They don't even need to put ads. They just say the game will return shortly. This is what they be doing. That's how much money they make off of ESPN Plus. They made $5.3 billion in their third quarter alone. So when I'm telling you, KP keep talking about, oh, it's costly. It's costly to run this. It's costly to run that. It's costly to run this. And Mr. Brown, if you could call in and talk about ads, I would really appreciate it. I would really appreciate it if you could call in and just give us a short synopsis.
You are the only participant in the conference.
Of how this thing breaks down. I really wish you could call in for maybe like
all participants are muted
and really shut this down when it comes to ad revenue and how much money that if the SWAC had its own network that they could make off ads alone. Just literally bringing in ad revenue, ad sponsorships with State Farm. Because think about it, guys. I need you guys to think about it. It's supply and demand. It's the same thing with BET Plus. The only way you can see Tyler Perry's plays unless you're you ripping them somewhere else is on BET Plus. It's supply and demand. It's supply and demand. If I limit to where you can get something and you can only go here to get it, you're going to get the majority of the eyes because there's only one place to get it from. That's the beauty of it. If there's nowhere else to get it, and you're the only place supplying it, that's how you become bigger than life. That's how you become instrumental in a space. Hey, Mr. Brown, you live.
Scotty, how are you, man? Thanks for reaching out.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Can you just break down how ads work and hypothetically, if the SWAC was to set up a HBC, or if the HBCUs came together as a conglomerate and set up an HBCU network with an app, how they could build revenue off of subscriptions as well as ads?
Well, I can't speak to any conference specifically, but I will tell you from a business model perspective, what Byron Allen, myself, Roland Martin, and a few other folks did is had a conversation about the $322 billion that's spent on advertising every year by brands through their media holding companies. And what that means is $322 billion goes toward commercials, whether they're video-based commercials, digital commercials, or even out of home, with meaning in the arenas, and even the commercials that you see on displays at your local gas station while you're pumping your gas. That is the media business. And blacks, meaning black people that own 51% of their company, are getting less than 1% of that in total. And so what we decided in the civil rights movement is to demand 15%, because we want them to repair for not giving us anything for the last 400 years, and not give us 13%, which is what our population is, but to give us 15%. And so that conversation very simply translates this way. Imagine the $1 billion deal that the Big 12 or Pac-12, Big 12 did in the Midwest. Imagine if there was a demand that for HBCU conferences, and that's just one conference, and if I believe that was mostly just for football, if we demanded 15% of that, that'd be $150 million. If you demanded 15% of the SEC deal, because that's the media rights deal. Now, the hard part about this, Scotty, is the business model is in twofold. One is an advertising video on demand model, meaning simply for every 30-second spot that's run and the money that they make from you being on their air, they get a percentage of that $322 billion. And so what people don't know is where that money comes from to pay these conferences for their rights. So very specifically, ESPN said, okay, that's cool. I'm making enough money with my traditional sports rights that I get from mostly white networks, meaning conferences. But that's cute. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do another thing called subscription video on demand, where I'm going to buy a bunch of rights and I'm going to package and market those rights. And I'm going to get what used to be $6.99 per subscriber. I'm not going to get $9.99. And all that money drops below to me because I don't need any advertising for that, because I'm going to pay a minimum amount for that content, meaning the deals that you've seen them sign with HBCUs, but I'm going to market it as the only place you can see the premium parts of those games. That's no different than Netflix. So the idea of a conference valuing itself in the middle of a civil rights movement where everyone is guiltily committing $50 billion, 10%, 8%, 5% of their marketing budget toward black folks, and the safest brand in Black America is HBCUs. And someone said that, I think it was Dr. Carr on Roland Martin's show, that there is no understanding of HBCUs by white people other than the fact that the brand HBCU has 101 locations, 100 of them being active. So if you talk about getting your fair share of the percentage of revenue that's available for you, either on a rev share, if there's a subscription, because you should get a percentage of that, and or a reasonable share of how much demand you're driving. And someone said in your chat, I saw earlier, Scott, that we don't compare to the white media companies because of either folks that show up at the gate, or even more conversely, we don't deserve implying our percentage. Well, the reality of it is we're 30, 40, 50% of some of these major brands that are advertising in the consumer product groups. And we represent as HBCUs the best of our community. We're the safest brand there is. But if we don't make any demand, then we're not in a position for monetization. So at the end of the day, Scotty, imagine if we got what they committed verbally to us, 2, 4, 8% of hundreds of billions of dollars, specifically for black media companies who then could negotiate directly with the conferences, because most of the conferences are nonprofits. They're not in the media business. So you can't participate in a media set-aside unless you're in the media business. And if you're selling your content to a white company, you are in a position to be black targeted. BET is black targeted. iHeartRadio is black targeted. So they're using your blackness for monetization of your culture because they know Negroes spend $1.8 trillion annually. So in short, Scotty, you should be making a demand that, like ESPN did when they started, they originally did a deal with Budweiser for $5 million for the category called beer. And they said to Budweiser, no one else can have that category. You're always going to be my beer company. Then ESPN figured out their business model and they renegotiated their Budweiser deal. I think it was year 2 or 3 when they got the Big East. And they realized that I can't afford to take less than I deserve to run my business. And so at the end of the day, advertising is not it's not an emotional sport. It is absolutely driven by economics around your ability to drive engagement with my products. And if I can get you for the least affordable Negro, I will accept that. But if you don't see yourself as being valuable and you see yourself in the event business, you see yourself in the party business, you see yourself in the we do this every year business, then you'll be in the smallest part of the budget, which is called diversity, equity, and inclusion. And you won't be in the advertising business. You'll be selling your content for a minimal amount and someone else will be monetizing it either through subscriptions, flow marketing, ESPN, Netflix, or you're going to be in the business where you get paid fairly based on what the market is, or you're going to do a rev share to participate as they determine what the market is for your content. That was more than you asked for, but that's the business that we're in, and that's what we're talking about on a daily basis.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Thank you. Appreciate you. Listen, man, at the end of the day, all I'm trying to do is educate, right? All I'm trying to do is show value, right? Listen, do not listen to KP. Please just don't listen to KP. Because at the end of the day, yes, it's expensive to stream. Absolutely. But there are plenty of, you ever heard of Zeus Network? Have you ever heard of, other smaller networks that are out there? Kevin Hart has an app. I mean, not Kevin Hart. Yeah, I think Kevin Hart has an app. I think Kev on Stage has an app. Listen, please do not listen to KP. It is plenty of ways to put your stuff on a network or build your own network or build an entity or build a holdings company outside of the SWAC or partner with somebody to make it happen. So please do not listen to that fool, because there is plenty of people who have a whole thing going and they don't look like YouTube. Point blank, period. They don't look like YouTube. They look on a smaller network, a smaller scale, and it does just fine. So miss me with that. But at the end of the day, all I'm trying to do is educate and show you guys that there's another way to go get this money other than keep getting pimped by ESPN and everything else surrounding you. So that's all I'm saying. But listen, I got another show I got to do. Appreciate everybody. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, whatever you want to do. If you want to.
If I make you feel some type of way,
it is perfectly fine with me. I am not tripping off that. You know what I'm saying? So listen, until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.